So we just got back from the National Yo-Yo Contest, and we have some news for you that's related to that. We also have a couple changes that we made to the site that we want to make you aware of, and we're going to be running our very first contest. A lot of you guys have been asking for that, so we think we've got something worked out that's going to be a lot of fun. So the first thing is that we did just get back from the National Yo-Yo Contest. A lot of good stuff happened there. First off, Jake Elliott won his division, which of course is not surprising. And I say it's not surprising because he was using the Atlas, which is a yo-yo that has never lost in competition. His win may have also had something to do with his unmatched skill in 5A, as evidenced by his World Championship win. But let's just all agree that it was actually the Atlas. So if you haven't picked up one of those, you should definitely check that yo-yo out. It's an extra wide yo-yo. It's got a lot of unique features. It's something that we really enjoy. The second thing that happened at Nationals that was really exciting is that Gentry Stein won the 1A division. And he is also a world champion, so it might not be too much of a surprise that he won a national championship. But this time he actually won it with the Replay Pro, which is a $16 plastic yo-yo. And it's just something that's kind of cool. When I talked to him about it beforehand, he said the reason he wanted to try to win with the Replay is just to show how good that yo-yo really is. You know, his name is also on the Shutter yo-yo, which is a metal yo-yo that's a little bit more expensive. He did want to point out that the Replay, it's not going to perform as well as the Shutter, but for a $16 yo-yo, there's never really been anything in the market that can compete at that level, and he definitely demonstrated that. So if you haven't seen his whole routine, it's pretty awesome, and if you haven't tried the Replay, again, we'd recommend that you check that out. Now on the website, on yoyotricks.com, we made a couple of changes to make some things easier and some things clearer. The first thing is we added a product and video update page under our news section. And so what this is it's the easiest place to go to see all the newest videos that we've posted and also any updates we've made to products. So if we add a new product or if we restock a color or anything like that, all those are going to be posted there first. And so it's probably a good place to go if you're interested in what's going on with products and videos on our site. The other thing is in our store, we have changed the way that we talk about plastic yo-yos now. So we decided to split the plastic section into two different categories. The first one is plastic responsive yo-yos, and then the second is plastic unresponsive. And that was just to make it a little bit clearer what you're going to be getting if you go into each of those categories. In the plastic unresponsive, of course, we have the Replay Pro, which we just talked about, and we have also added the Classic. And we've actually changed the Classic. Typically, the Classic is a responsive yo-yo, but we've never really been satisfied with how it plays as a responsive yo-yo. And what we've seen in the yo-yo world is that a lot of people recommend the Classic to their friends as a first yo-yo to get into yo-yoing, but they typically tell them to modify it so that it plays unresponsive. And we thought, you know what, we'll just make it easier on everybody. We'll just sell it the way that yo-yoers typically recommend it to their friends. And we worked out a really excellent deal with Yo-Yo Jam so that the price is quite a bit lower than if you were to buy a Classic plus the parts to upgrade it. So it now comes unresponsive exactly the way that everyone, I think, kind of always knew that it should. And it's a pretty good deal on our site, and it's a great yo-yo, as you guys already know. So definitely check that out. If you're going to recommend the Classic to your friends, we think this is the best way to get it. Finally, we are going to run our very first contest. The reason we're going to start running some contests is because of the release of the Mighty Flea. And we thought it would be really cool to have a trick-focused contest since we are yoyotricks.com. And a lot of people have been asking us to run contests anyways. So what we're going to do is, if you've never used the Mighty Flea, this is what it looks like. It's right around the size of a quarter, which is pretty awesome. And it's made out of stainless steel, so it's actually almost as heavy as a conventional yo-yo. And it can be used to do some pretty awesome tricks. And so what we're going to do for our contest is we're going to use our Instagram page, and probably in a couple of weeks we'll start doing this. We'll make sure to let you guys know. But we're going to post a trick on the Instagram page and let you know this is part of the contest. And then what you need to do is on your own Instagram page, you need to get a Mighty Flea and then use that to do the same trick. And then everybody who hits the same trick will then be put into the running for the actual prize. And so what we're going to try to do with these contests is we're going to try to make prototype yo-yos available. So stuff that you can't get anywhere else. For the first Mighty Flea contest, the prototype is actually going to be a civility. We have been tweaking the design of the civility a little bit, which is part of the reason it's been out of stock for so long. We wanted it to just perform even better than it already does. We expect the civility to be released early to mid-November, and this is just one of the prototypes that we made along the way. It's not identical to the actual final product. It's the only civility of its kind. We didn't make any more like this, and it really plays great. And so if you already have a Mighty Flea, you'll be able to perform that contest. If you don't have one, of course, we'd recommend you pick one up so that you can jump in on these. And we just think it'll be a lot of fun. If you have an Instagram account, make sure you start following us. It's just YoTricks on Instagram, and you'll be able to keep up with us and participate in those. So that's all we have for now. We'll see you next time.